we doing it right now? Do you want me to do the intro right now?
Yeah. Do the intro right now.
Oh.
It would have been cool if it was like 3 minutes ago. I mean, I know you're nervous.
This guy's such a diva already. We don't even have any subscribers yet. And he's
Powder!
A diva. Powder! Can we get some powder over here for this guy? Welcome, everybody, to Born Broke with Mike Hofferth. Today, we're going to talk about credit scores. Good, the bad, and the ugly, and how it impacts your life. Mr. Mike, take it away.
I don't know that everybody probably knows what a credit score is. I mean, there's a good majority of people that might, but again, what we're doing is financial literacy. So let's strip it back on credit scores, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is affected by credit scores. I don't know anybody that's not, right? Unless you're so rich you pay everything in cash.
I mean, that's kind of what I do, but I don't have a big overhead.
So credit score is basically the tracking mechanism that's used for your credit viability.
Mm-hmm.
Like how viable is your credit? There's two different things. There's your credit score, and then there's the magnitude of your credit,
mm-hmm.
right? Both of which kind of work in tandem depending on what you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So ultimately, credit score at the base level is you paying your bills on time, right? Let's just say that you don't have many bills. You're going to need to get a bill and start paying that thing. It's so important to pay it on time, right? Mm-hmm. As soon as you start doing that, they start tracking how credible you are. Mm-hmm. Do you pay on time? Do you pay late? Do you pay 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days? Do you not pay?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not paying, your credit score is going down, right? Like a low credit score won't allow you to go get a loan,
mm-hmm.
right? The higher your credit score, the better your chances of getting a better loan,
mm-hmm.
right? When you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, or, you need to just take a personal equity loan of some sort or whatever it be, like the higher your credit score, you want to try to get north of 800.
Sure.
That's near perfect, I would say. North of 800 is amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing above 650, you're doing good. You're
mm-hmm.
doing well, right? If you're below 650, I'd say you need to start working on yourself.
Yeah, you're starting to get like prime, subprime, and that's when rates are not in your favor. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, well, your interest rates are a little bit higher because
mm-hmm.
they look at you as a liability, so to speak, in actually being able to pay your bills or
mm-hmm.
pay that debt that they're lending you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to get started right from the basis. Let's say you have let's say you have a used car. Let's say you're able to get a used car with a cosigner because you couldn't qualify, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that used car, you had a cosigner, your father or your mother or a relative or a friend went in and basically said, if George can't pay, I'll pick up the bill.
Mm-hmm.
So we took out a little loan. Let's pretend, right? And we had a cosigner.
Me and you took out a loan?
Yeah, me and you took out a loan. We took
on
out
what?
A loan on a used car for $2,000.
What kind of car?
It's
a truck or a car?
No, it's a car. It's $2,000.
Well, can we do a truck for $2,000 for the sake of the exercise?
All right, let's do a truck.
$2,000 truck.
All right, $2,000 truck.
Now we're talking.
All right, so you co-signed for me because I didn't have the credit to get the $2,000 loan.
See, now we're taking the audience. That's not realistic. Let's just say when we kind of first met and you were making a lot of money and I wasn't. So let's flip around the exercise.
Okay, George wasn't
I bought a $2,000 truck, had terrible credit, and I asked you.
Or no credit.
I had no credit. Can you come co-sign?
So I co-signed for him. So I said, if George defaults on the loan because he can't
mm-hmm.
pay it, I'll pay for it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But George didn't. He paid his payments on time every time, which established him credit, right?
History. Good history.
Yeah. Credit history. So good credit history because he's paid on time.
Mm-hmm.
He never had a payment that was late. Mm-hmm. Now, the next time he goes to get a loan, rather than $2,000, they might give him $5,000 without a cosigner. Mm-hmm. So he got that loan by himself without me having to cosign for him.
Mm-hmm.
So now that $5,000, if he pays for his payments on time all the time,
mm-hmm.
it's just compounding. So
yep.
the next one might be 10. The next one might be 15, and so on and so forth, right? Mm-hmm. And now he has a new car that he bought because he didn't get into CPOs yet. So now he's paying on this new car for 7 years.
Yeah.
And he never
Bad decision.
He never missed a payment. So now he wants to buy a house because he's about to have a family. So now they're going to look at the magnitude of his credit. And they're going to say, wow, in whatever year that was, he had a $2,000 loan, he paid it off on time. $5,000 loan, paid it off on time, so on and so forth. Until now, he's going to try to qualify for a house, and his credit score is over 650. So he qualifies. That qualification will kind of determine whether his interest rate is higher or lower, but he qualifies. So now he can buy a house. And so on and so forth. So that's kind of how it works. So it is important to get started day one. And that goes for your gas bill, your utilities, if you have an apartment, you know. If you want to establish credit, a way to establish credit. Let's say you live at home with your parents. Ask your parents if you can put one utility bill in your name. Say,
that's smart.
Yeah.
When you're younger, right?
Yeah.
Like, get established.
Yeah. You know, other ways to get established, and I don't know, you probably know this, but if you have children, right, and you know you can pay your bills because you're stable, put your child on something with you. Yeah, your child can be on your credit card. Just don't give them the credit card and pay the bill. And they're starting to build their own credit through you.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah. So when they get out into the real world, they have credit. They don't have to put up cash all the time because people will extend a loan, so to speak, or a credit. Credit is a loan that they extend to you because you're not a high-risk individual. The higher risk you are, the less chance you're going to get a loan or an extension of credit.
Alone.
I
like that.
You like that? Alone. I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding.
I feel alone right now. What's my credit score? We can talk about that later. It's actually really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It's excellent.
Fantastic.
It's not perfect. It's excellent.
That's perfect. I don't even know what mine is, which is terrible because I should.
Wow, folks. Don't listen to this guy because he doesn't even know his own credit score.
I don't know my credit score, but what I do know is I have a lot of bills that are all paid on time. So therefore, my credit score is probably pretty high.
So can you also tell the audience too, like they can, if you don't know what your credit score is, there's tons of credit monitoring services. Go on Google. You can find what your credit is. And it's probably a good thing to pull if you don't know what it is.
You should pull it, but don't pull it excessively. Don't continue to pull it because every time you pull your credit, it impacts the credit rating and it'll start to inch its way down. So you should know what it is. You should pull it so you know what it is, but don't make a habit of pulling it. Okay.
And don't let, any vendors, or if you're, potentially looking for a car, if you're not really wanting the car, a lot of companies or a lot of, dealerships will say, hey, we're just going to pull your credit to see what you qualify for. Don't let them do that. Or if it's something else, or if it's a personal loan that you're looking to get, a soft pull, a pull, just try not to, until you're ready to pull the trigger on whatever thing you're researching it.
Correct.
Then let them pull your credit.
Because you don't want it to negatively impact where you're at. You want to keep that credit score as high as possible for as long as possible so you can get the best rates that are out there. Right? And again, ask questions. If you don't fully understand it, ask questions, Google it, write in the comments. We won't get to everybody, but we'll try to pick out a few here and there, and we'll talk about it in other episodes.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. That's why we're doing this. We're doing this to help everybody kind of learn the basis of it so you can get ahead and it doesn't take you 40 years.
Yeah.
You can get ahead in 5 years. You can get ahead in 2 years.
Yeah.
If you take all these tips and tricks and all these little things that we've learned along the way, you'll be so far ahead.
Yeah.
You don't even know what to do with yourself.
I think too, I don't know how many times I've heard it. It's hundreds of times when you're at a party and it'll come up and somebody tries to make a joke of, oh man, I have my credit's so bad. I don't even want to look. Make it a game. Again, you're winning the game or you're losing the game. Win the game and try to get the best credit score possible because that only benefits you. Win the game.
George is about the games because he was an Olympic athlete.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Olympic athlete and a pro athlete.
I'm a dinosaur now.
So he's definitely about the games. I was an old athlete, so I understand the games.
He's more of a dinosaur than I am.
For those of you out there that are athletes, do make it a game. I look at everything. I look at my businesses as a game. basically my businesses and who I employ and how I put my team together is like having an NBA franchise, right? You build that squad and then you go play for a championship.
That's why he picked me as his sidekick.
There you go.
I mean,
best sidekick in the West.
There you go. Are we done here with credit scores, or I mean, how much deeper can we go?
I don't think we can go much deeper, but again, to recap it, start today, pay your bills on time, think about how you can make the magnitude of credit expand and grow, right? If you have to start small, there's no problems with that. Everyone starts at the bottom. It's the same thing, and we've heard from so many guests, entrepreneurs, and everything else. Very few people start at the top and stay at the top. Most have to start from the bottom, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you start from the bottom, no one can take it away from you, right? So with that said, I have nothing more on credit scores other than do your best to grow your credit score, get the best deals out there, grow your finances. There you have it.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
Time flies, right?
Yeah.
And what Mike just said is start now. If you don't, I mean, me and him were in college 20-something years ago, and I literally, that feels like yesterday. And if I would have started back then and now I'm here because it was literally like this overnight. So get on the train of going somewhere with your credit score, with your finances, because if you don't, the worst thing that can happen is that you don't get on that train and all the people that you hang out with got on that train, and then you have a reunion.
And you're trying.
And I've been at those reunions where you're like, wow, everybody is, doing really well with their life, and you're in the same place. So get on that train. And I'm usually on the train, but there's been some pit stops along the way.
Well, what he's saying is people around you will continue to excel.
Correct.
Right? So why don't you continue to excel as well? Right? Start today, right?
Yeah.
Because you'll blink and you'll wish you did. Guaranteed. I will guarantee that. Start today because you'll blink and you'll wish you did, just like George gave that example, right?
It's gone.
Your
time
friends,
is so fast.
Your friends, your peers, like all those that are watching this while you're watching this, there will be those people that take this to heart and they excel. And that's what we hope everyone does. Because it's not hard. It's not hard. You have to listen. You have to act. You have to have discipline. You have to think a little bit. Not a lot, because we're spoon feeding it to them. And then sky's the limit. Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
And then you can start to live the life you want. You can do the things that you've never.
Watch out for the mic there.
I know.
Just whacked
but
it.
I didn't realize that it stuck out so far. There it is. But you can do the things you want. You can take the trips. You can buy the things. You can rest at ease because you can pay your bills and you're not stressing.
Yeah.
Dude, stress will kill you.
Yeah. And
This is to help you live a better life. This whole show, that's what it's about.
Yes, because like being financially free, financially literate, it allows you to have a better life because A, you'll have money in the bank. B, you'll have way less stress, and stress is literally the number one cause of disease. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I've read. And we want you to be healthy. We want you to be happy, and stress kills both of those things.
Yeah, I wasn't the sharpest academic in by any means.
We both weren't in college.
Yeah.
I scraped out of there.
I got through college. I did get a degree. I struggled
in advertising.
Yeah,
What did I get a degree in? Advertising.
Yeah, I struggled. I struggled in high school. I struggled in college. I worked hard enough to get the degree, right? I wasn't the sharpest person there. And I don't think that you necessarily have to be. But if you have the heart, the hustle, the will to listen and apply what we're giving you, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. And that's definitely a guarantee. You will get there.
Yeah.
But if you don't listen and you don't apply and you don't have discipline, you will not get there. And I guarantee that too.
Yeah.
So please, you choose. You're in charge of your destiny, right? And like I said, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. You can do it. You can do it wherever you are in the world. And start today.
Yeah.
Start today.
Yeah.
Again, this episode was about credit scores, the importance of credit scores, the importance to grow your credit score. And again, we'll get to any questions that we see. And
I'm gonna add one more thing.
This guy's always adding one more thing.
Just one more thing, because I thought about all the good stuff.
I'm gonna call you the one more thing guy.
That's fine. I could live with that. No, my one more thing, final, is that you said that it's not hard. It's not hard. But what's hard is the discipline component and just the maintenance, because constantly tweaking, back to the first episode that we did is budgeting, and it's constantly maintaining it. It's almost like the analogy of if you have grass and you cut it every Wednesday or it's all good. It's easy. But once you miss one week, it grows. You've got weeds everywhere. And then going in there and maintaining that backyard is a nightmare, right? For me, I have to stay on top of it.
It's easier to chip away. We all like to procrastinate.
Yes, chip away.
Humans, typically like to procrastinate, right?
Yeah,
and what
100%.
George is saying is don't procrastinate, right? Chip away each day, and you're going to continue to get closer and closer without, feeling like you have an uphill battle, right?
See, I like that. See, I'm giving you ideas, and then you can be more articulate.
I feel like we're fighting over the last word here.
No, we're not. I'm just saying I'm letting you be. I'm giving you the ideas so you can articulate it better than the audience.
I know, and I always give you the last word because you close it out. So
well, it's designed that way. So I think we're done here because I'm starting to get annoyed with my own voice.
I know, and I did see you think. You looked up.
Yeah, I did look up once, so I thought once. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Born Broke with Mike Hofferth. Credit, score, and monitoring your credit. That is a wrap.